Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today I have a patriotic video for you. I'm probably going to have this be my last one for the year. I don't know, maybe one more, but more likely this will be the last one. But first, before we get to the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my Oliver. And if you're returning, we appreciate you guys more than you know. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, DIY number one. So I took 3 of the wood hanging planks and I'm putting them together using my giant craft sticks from Walmart. And of course, I use wood glue and hot glue to attach all of them. Then I'm going to, I guess I'm going to show you me doing it again. One thing to note, I put the wood glue in the middle and the hot glue on the ends because I have found in the past when I just put hot glue on one side and glue on the other side that the wood glue one side would curl up when I painted it. Just a tip. Anyways, once I was done, I turned it around and I am just using my ruler here to make a square on the left hand corner. Then I'm using my painter's tape here. I'm using that one piece as a spacer, but I don't know what I was doing wrong. I kept having to use my ruler to measure it because it kept looking crooked. Anyways, I'm making stripes. So I just did that all the way down the board. And then I'm going to paint the stripes, the open areas red. I removed the tape once it was dry, added more tape over the red and painted it white. Then I'm taking this navy color. It's by Decor or Americana. I don't know, a Decor. Anyways, I'm going to paint that square. And if you can't tell by now, we are making a US flag. So I'm just going to paint this. I love that color. It's such a beautiful navy deep color. And then after I have this all painted and dried, I'm going to, I'm going to move on here. Okay, I'm going to remove my tape. I'm going to dry it. And then I'm going to take this stencil. Now, I can't remember if I got this stencil from Amazon last year or if I got it from Temu. But I'm just taking my white chalk paint by Waverly and I'm just going to pounce all around the stars. And then, and then I will remove my stencil and dry it all. It's really, to make the flag is really pretty easy. It just takes a little bit of time, not a whole lot, especially it takes a little time if you can't measure like me. Anyways, once I was done with that, I took one of these wood pieces from Dollar Tree and I'm going to paint it with my navy color. Now, I saw online a sign like this at Walmart. Now, I don't know if Walmart has this sign still or if this was an old sign, but I thought it was such a great idea. I wanted to recreate it. So I printed out, now I typed out the Pledge of Allegiance. And you guys, this was a booger to weed. I don't know why I do this to myself. I do it to myself all the time, but oh my goodness, it took me all day long to weed it. It was crazy, but I am just adding this to my wood piece now. When I was pulling off the backing, this part stayed on the backing and I didn't want to try and fix it, so I just decided to add it by itself. So once I finally had it all on there, I took a sigh of relief. And then I took my wood glue and my hot glue. I'm putting it on the back of my sign here. And I'm just going to lay this in front of my flag, just on top of it, I should say. Just like that. Now, you could leave it just like that if you want. But you know me, I like rustic look and I like the kind of more old Americana look. So I'm just going to take my wax here and my paper towel. Now, I should have done this before I added my sign, but I like to make things harder for myself. So I just went around and just kind of put that wax everywhere to give it that older look. Then I took some of my braided jute cord that I get from Amazon, and I'm just going to outline my sign with it. I'm just going to wrap it around it. I'm just using hot glue. And then I took some of these little stars. I got these recently from Amazon. It came in a whole bunch of different sizes. And I'm just going to glue, I painted them white, and then I'm going to glue one on each side of my sign. Then I decided, okay, this wood is too thin to use a stapler to hang it. And I took another piece of the jumbo craft sticks or giant craft sticks, painted it red. I didn't have the ends on it from a previous project. And then I'm just using that as a to thicken the back so I can staple my hanger in there. And there it is. I love how this came out. I just think it is just what a great idea, huh? Have the Pledge of Allegiance on the flag. Okay, guys, I just wanted to stop in real quick and thank all of you guys. You guys mean the world to me, and I appreciate each one of you who watch every single week. You guys are amazing. And if you are new here and you enjoy today's video and you like home decor on a budget, then I invite you to hit that red subscribe button, become part of our YouTube family, and then let me know in the comment box that you're new here. I'd love to get to know you. And I guess that's all that needs to be said for now. So with all that, let's continue on with the video. Okay, DIY number 2. So I'm going to take one of these flat canvases and I'm just going to go over it with a baby wipe and my antique wax. Again, I wanted to have it look a little more antique-ish, so I'm just going to rub it all in to my little flat canvas. Then I'm going to take this new stencil from Chalk Couture. It's America the Beautiful. I'm going to fuzz it. This is the first time I'm using it, so I'm going to fuzz about 4 or 5 times. If you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, it is a self-adhesive silk screen transfer. Well, stencil, but we call it transfer. And the first time you use it, you want to fuzz it so that it doesn't pull up any of your paint. Even though I didn't paint it, I still fuzz it. It makes it a lot easier when you're pulling this up. So after I have it on there, I'm taking my black velvet chalk paste and I am going to go over the whole sign with my chalk paste. If you're not familiar with Chalk Couture, I love it. It is so much fun to use and it's very easy and everything always comes out looking so nice. I am a Chalk Couture designer, so I will have a link in my description box. If you're interested in checking it out, you can go to my page and check it out. If you have questions at all about it, you can always email me. I am more than happy to answer any questions for you. But I love it and I always like to suggest trying out the subscription plan that we have to get started if you're interested. So once I was done, I cleaned off my transfer and I took this 8x10 canvas. And yes, you're probably wondering, well, why didn't you just use the canvas off that frame? It's because this was an afterthought. So I removed the canvas from it and I'm going over it with my antique wax. I'm just doing all the front, the sides, the inside. I originally was going to try and make my own frame, but we've had some really nasty weather the last few days and I really didn't want to walk out to the shed to cut my wood down, so I decided to just do it this way. So I'm just going to take my Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue and I went around my frame and then I'm going to add some wood glue to the edges. And then I'm just going to glue this right over my little sign. Now, because of the way I don't know if it's, no, I guess the sign, well, no, the sign isn't bigger than the frame. It's just that I tried to get as much of that stencil on it. So yeah, anyways, it's just because of the way I laid the stencil. So I had to cut the bottom part, which I was fine with. But if you can see, it's not all the way to the top of my frame there. Yeah, because I didn't want to cover because I put the stencil too close to the top. I guess that's what I should say. Oh, it's early, guys. Okay, so after I had that all glued together, I took 3 of these stars. I have no idea where I got these wood stars. I want to say I got them from Dollar Tree, but I'm not positive. It might have been Hobby Lobby. It might have been Amazon. I really don't know. But you can use any little stars that you have if you want to recreate something like this. And again, if you don't have Chalk Couture and you don't want to try Chalk Couture, you could get you can print off the internet songs. So you could definitely print this on paper and antique it with some wax. Yeah, anyways. Okay, so I painted 2 of the stars white and 1 of the star with my navy color. And then here I'm just making some diagonal lines and kind of measuring. I went in, I think it was 3/4 the way in, 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm just making my lines diagonally on the white ones. Then I'm going to use my crimson color and I'm going to paint every other stripe so it looks like the flag. And then after I had them all done, I guess I'm going to show you all of this too. And you can tell I'm just using a small brush and I am going pretty slow. I have this sped up because I didn't want to get over those lines. And yeah, so I did that on both of the white ones. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. Then when I was letting those dry, I took my star stencil again and I'm going to pounce on some stars on the blue star. And then once they were all dry, I'm going to antique them with my antique wax. Just going to go over it with a napkin and just kind of wipe off any excess. I even did that with the blue one, even though I know it's harder to see, but I figured with the white stars, that will help. I don't want it to be bright white on that star and then the other ones not be bright white. So then I'm just going to use my hot glue and I'm going to glue them to the front of my sign. Now, I always forget to say this. When you use chalk couture, if you want it to stay permanent, you always want to use a sealer. I try and use a Rust-Oleum spray to seal it in. Otherwise, it will wash off if you try to wash it off. So I just painted some tumbling tower blocks with the wax and added them to the back of the sign so it will stand. I took this ribbon here. This one and the striped one came from Sam's. The one with the stars came from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just kind of folding them in the middle like a bow tie. And then I should say scrunching them. And then I'm going to just layer them on top of each other just like you see. And then I'm going to take my twine and wrap it around for just a simple, easy bow. I love the way this looks. I need to make bows like this more often. I don't know. I love the way this looks. Anyways, I'm just going to glue it to the top. And then I had some rusty stars. So I'm going to add that to the middle. And it's very hot because it's metal. So I had to get my finger protector. And there it is. I love how this came out. Oh, it's so pretty. You have to let me know what you think about this one in the comment box below. Okay, it is a time for celebration of your recreations. And we have Alicia made these really pretty recreations of mine. I love them. And Debbie, oh my goodness, girl, these are gorgeous. I love the lighted wood round. It's beautiful. And then Terry, oh, this wreath is so pretty. She even has a bee on it. I love them, ladies. Thank you so much for sharing. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to my email address that's listed there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. DIY number 3. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to take this 14-inch wood round from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. I just painted one side. You could do both if you wanted. I just figured I didn't need to waste the paint. So then I took this burlap fabric from Dollar Tree. I traced it and then I'm going to cut it out so that it fits on top of the unpainted side of my wood round. Then I took my tacky glue. You could probably use Mod Podge. You could use any kind of glue really that you want. I just have found that the tacky glue works really well with the burlap, and I can move it around, and then it also doesn't take long to dry and stick. So I'm just laying my burlap on it. As you can see, I'm kind of moving it around, making sure that it's covering the edges. And then I'm just going to continue. I do it in sections, and then I just kind of continue and just smooth it all out and straighten it out and pull it if I need to make sure that it covers the edge. Then I did trim off any of the edges, and then after that I took this US sign. You can find these at Hobby Lobby all the time. They're not just a seasonal. They're in the wood section, and I always get them when they're 40% off. And I got it and I went over it with my antique wax, and then I'm just brushing off the excess. And once that was all done and dry, I took a stencil that I just recently got from Amazon. I tried to tape it down, but the wax wouldn't allow the tape to stick. So I had to hold it down with my hand. So I'm just pouncing over it with my Crimson color by Waverly. And once I have it all completed, I'm either talking too fast or I showed too much. or the other. Oh my goodness. I pulled this off and I go clean my stencil. And then once that was dry, I took my Type Bond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue, put it all around the back of my United States there, and then I'm using my hot glue and I'm going to glue this to the front of my board. Now, it does hang over just a tad, but I was okay with that. So then I took some of this ribbon that Kathy Jo sent me. I know she got this at Sam's Club because she called me while she was at Sam's Club and was showing me all the ribbons. Um, and if you don't know who Kathy Jo is, she is Kathy Jo DIY. Check her out. She's amazing and she's funny and I love her to death. Anyways, and then this one, of course, came from Hobby Lobby. I'm making 2 bows, doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching them up and tying them in the middle with some jute twine. And then I'm going to dovetail the ends, which means you fold them in half and cut at an angle. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to make a couple holes. So I made a hole with my big mouth crocodile and I wanted to make it a little bigger than what it was. So I just kind of moved the board a little bit and clamped down again to make it bigger. Then I went down maybe a ½ inch or so and made a second hole right below it. And I'm going to take some of my boxwood greenery that I love from Walmart. And I'm going to use this zip tie. I'm going to bring it through the holes. I'm going to put the zip tie together, but I'm not going to tighten it all the way because I'm going to put my bow through it as well. Now this is just, I've been trying to find ways of not doing hot glue for hangers and stuff and bows just because it's not permanent, and I might try and sell some of these things. I don't know how or when, but I need to because our attic is getting full and my husband said I can't buy any more totes. There's no place to put them. I've got to figure out how to sell this stuff, you guys. It's crazy. Anyways, I put my bow through it and I tighten it up, and then I'm going to take some more twine. I'm going to take some beads that I got last year from Amazon. These are Patriotic colors. And I'm just stringing them through. I think there was 6 of them. I think I did 2 of each color. And I'm just doing red, white, and blue there. And I'm going to string it through that top hole. That's why I made it a little bigger, because I knew I was going to bring the twine through as well as the zip tie. Then I'm going to tie a knot on the back here like you see. And then I'm going to pull down the beads. I'm sorry you can't see this. I made a loop and then I twisted the end around that loop a couple of times. You just kind of have to work at it until you can see that it's a tight knot. And then I'm just going to string the end through a couple of my beads and then trim off the excess. I'm sorry this wasn't in view. I thought it was. But anyways, there it is. I love how this came out. It's different. I wouldn't find this anywhere. I hope you like it as well. Let me know in the comment box below. Okay, DIY number 4. So I took one of these MDF pieces from Dollar Tree. I don't know what you call these things, but I'm removing those brads and that little metal piece. And then I painted it white, and I took my little birdhouses here and I painted one white, one red, and one with my navy. And then after that, I took my antique wax because, of course, I want to antique it. Now, my grandson was in here playing, and he saw me painting. He's, "Oh, that's really pretty. That's America color." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And then he didn't see me doing this part, and when I was all done, he came back. He's like, "Oh, why'd you do that? Well, it's not white anymore." I was laughing. It was so funny. He didn't like it this way. He thought I should kept it all white. But anyways, so, and maybe he's right. Maybe I should have. But I wanted it to kind of go with the rest of my theme here. But I just took my antique wax. I even went over that ribbon, which I got from Hobby Lobby, because, I didn't want the bright white ribbon on the ribbon to stand out too much from the antiqued stuff. So yeah, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to go over everything with my antique wax. I did even go a little bit over the red and the blue. You can't really see it probably on camera, but up close you can tell. It just gives it that more antique-ish look. And then I made some just shoestring bows with that ribbon, and I'm just using a napkin to kind of go over it. I wasn't real thrilled with how it looked on the ribbons. So yeah, maybe my grandson, sorry, was correct. Maybe I should have left it white, but you know what? It's still okay. So I took some wood glue and hot glue here. I'm going to glue my houses onto this little MDF piece. And then I'm going to fill them up. So once I had them all glued, I'm going to put some floral foam inside. I'm going to take some more boxwood greenery. If you have little red, white, and blue flowers, that would be great. I didn't. All my flowers are too big. And then so I use my boxwood greenery, which I love. And then I found my little stash of 4th of July stuff, and I found these little cupcake or cake topper flag thingies, and I'm just going to poke them into my planters, and that's all there is. And there it is. Let me know. Do you like it that way, or should I left it white? I know what my grandson would say, but anyways, I love how this turned out. I hope you did too. Final reveal is coming up. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will be back again on Sunday for the Just Our Imagination Challenge. I am so excited. I haven't even started my stuff. I might do another patriotic one. I haven't decided, but I'm kind of thinking with the must-use items, I might have to do that. So make sure you stay tuned. And with all that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.